like, where you going? Like, I wish he would just check in more and just, give us the reality, but we'll have to wait and see.
It's going to be good. And yeah, I mean, I see now why Crystal Kung is not there. Like, we don't need her, you know? I mean, if we
Yeah.
got rid of Crystal to make way for a Boz, job well done already. I really was like, wow. Like, I knew I would like Jennifer Tilly because I know that someone told me in my DMs, I guess because I did a show the other day and I said, because Jennifer is there in Bel Air. So I said, like, look, they all have money. Like, this is the real deal. But like, Sutton and Kathy and Kyle probably have the most. And then I said, it seems like Jennifer has a lot too. Like, I guess what? Like, just she saved money as an actress. Someone slipped into my DMs to say that apparently Jennifer was married to one of the creators of The Simpsons, and that they had a very or they had a divorce, and I guess it was amicable, just was very generous, more generous than he should.
Yeah, she's in Sutton's situation. She's well taken care of.
Well, ain't nothing wrong with that. So,
No.
I mean, you get the sense like you live in Bel Air. She is always at the Bel Air Hotel with Sutton at lunch, and they're always traveling. I mean, one of the creators of The Simpsons. I mean, that ain't no joke. So, good for her. I love to
Yeah.
hear
And
that.
really quick, I love that it came out on the after show that Kyle was hitting on Kevin Costner.
Yeah, I didn't watch that yet. Like, what was that? Like, what? Like, so what? Like, what? Like, where was this? Because I didn't in Aspen. Like, when?
Yes, it was an Aspen. I guess she was hitting on him and trying to hook up with him or something. That Morgan was nowhere in mind because she was pursuing Kevin, which, you do you, but that
You
was
do
funny.
you.
I love that came out. That was funny. And I love Yellowstone. I watch it. It's back on actually. I watch it every Sunday. So I was like, you go, Kyle.
You go, Kyle. And I think even Dorit on Watch What Happens did great, where Andy's like, Dorit, we have a lot to unpack. And she's like, yes, we do. And he's like, you don't let up all season. And she's like, I do not. So good for you. Like, this is the way, look, of course, like, producers told you to wait until they started filming, but they did start filming right away. So look, it doesn't matter if you sit on something and don't deal with, like, why would you deal with this with Kyle for the 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 5 weeks before you started filming? Of course you want to save this for us, but I just still feel it's all very natural. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree. I loved it. I give it a 9.5 this episode. I really loved
Yeah.
it.
Yes, it was great. It was great. I think every episode this season is going to be amazing.
I hope you're right. I hope you're
I
right.
really do.
Um, do you anything else to say, or should we talk Jersey a little bit?
No, we can dip into Jersey. Jersey's like the city that never sleeps, even though the manufacturer storylines are played out and boring. But there's always some drama going on that is real, especially on social media. Um,
Where do you want to begin?
we can talk Watch What Happens Live. A lot of people were like, "Oh, booyah, everybody, look at Teresa on Watch What Happens Live." But we were watching Teresa in the second seat, and I know a lot of her fans were screaming, well, she's only in the second seat because Ashley Darby's show is currently being aired, but so is House of Villains. And if Teresa was there because she's on House of Villains is still going. So that excuse, didn't really fly. But yeah, they put her in the second seat and they didn't tag RHO and Jay when they announced that she was going to be on Watch What Happens Live. So that was a little telling too. And it just felt really flat. She did take a dig at Tamra. But again, like with Teresa, for like a lot of people who aren't caught up with the drama on social media. So Tamra's show is currently on. Well, it just ended, but OC, there was a lot of drama on social media with bloggers attacking Tamra. You talked about this a lot on your episodes, David, on your pod. So behind the scenes, there was a lot of people coming for Tamara, and a lot of people didn't understand why Jersey fans, like the really hardcore Teresa fans, were attacking Tamara so hard. Well, then it started getting out that obviously Teresa never got over the fact that Tamara outed Melissa Feaster getting yelled at by Louie during BravoCon, and she holds a grudge, Teresa, so she never let that go. So she was having people behind the scenes attack Tamara. Well, Teresa went on Watch What Happens Live and she's like, why does Tamra have my name in her mouth? I was just texting her, like, why is everyone always talking about Teresa? Well, it's like because you put shit out there on purpose so you can stay the center of attention. Teresa has such a hard time not being talked about that she legit has her bloggers talking shit about people so that she can be the topic of conversation on social media because she's that addicted to fame. And I will be the first person to tell you that is totally true because with me, when I was working with them, she had to make sure she was the topic of conversation because she dreaded not being talked about because she views in her mind, so does Jim Leonard, so does Louie, and all her other little minions in her circle, that if she is being talked about, she's sending the message to Bravo that she's the it girl. So here she was having her bloggers talk all of this shit to Tamra. Tamra got wind of it and called it out and said, there is an orchestrated movement going on behind the scenes, and I know who it's coming from and what's going on. So then there was Teresa texting Tamra saying, why are you talking about me? Well, bitch,
Like
because
this
you
is
had your bloggers.
recently, like Tamara recently said, I know what's going on. Like this is what's
Yes,
happening.
she did. She commented on an Instagram post, like, I know what's going on. There's an orchestrated move behind the scenes. Like, people are coming for me and I know where it's coming from. Well, then Teresa hopped on a text message with Tamara and she's like, why are you talking about me? Why are you mentioning me? Well, because you do what you do, like to your cast, to other people now, because you want to stay the topic of conversation. So, I mean, for the people who say Teresa's booked and busy, she has no life to be, doing the social media stuff. Yeah, she totally does have time for the social media stuff. She loves to be in the timeline because she feels like she's not relevant if she's not. So she picked a fight with Tamra. Tamra found out about it. And then she sits there and watch what happens live and she's like, why are you guys talking about me? Well, bitch, because you're behind it all and you got outed. So it's just so crazy and sick. But I did also see another blogger mention how casting is underway and they're interviewing girls. And it's like, we already dropped that to you a couple episodes back, you and I, David. And they totally are. They're looking for new faces, they're looking to shake up the cast. So we'll see where they go with that. But we also mentioned on that episode with you and I that a lot of people are turning away and saying, fuck this. We don't want Teresa, Louie, and whoever else is working for her to dig up on our business. So they're having a hard time casting because a lot of people don't want their business looked into or they don't want to be targeted by Teresa.
Has Teresa, I mean, that's all interesting. And you told me about the blogger, right? Like we said that, like, okay, like you're obviously getting that from us. Has Teresa ever been second seat on Watch What Happens? I wonder. I don't know if she's
I don't
ever.
know.
So it's a
I don't know,
hard, like
but
it's hard to, but it's still, yeah. I mean, I noticed that. Well, I also noticed that when it started, Andy said, Ashley, blah, blah, and here's Teresa Giudice from House of Villains, which, okay, it's on now. It's E. But couldn't you just say, our very own,
yeah.
number one table flipper, our very own Queen of New Jersey? I mean, there was no reference to RHONJ. I thought that was weird, where he was like, from House of Villains, Teresa. I thought that was
Yeah,
weird.
that was weird. And also another weird thing that's going on behind the scenes on social media, and I am warning a lot of people, if you get something in your DM that is anti Teresa and they're pushing you to post it, do not do it because again, she likes to be the victim and she likes to be in the timeline. So they're within